Some of you were asking for a tour, and now that we're done our USA National Park trip, I have a bit more time to show you around. So here we go. So when you first come in the sliding door behind me, this is what you see. Ahead of us is the kitchen galley, a place for the batteries, electronics, the bed, and the bathroom. So let's start with the galley. Got a 100-liter Dometic 12-volt fridge here. Just finishing unloading from the trip, but it has enough room for milk jugs and salad. Enough for a good week's worth of food if you pack it. The drawers have these locks to hold them in place. So here I have my cleaning drawer and my pot. Ooh, we gotta talk about this pot at some point. This is a very good pot that we picked up from Stanley that all nests within each other. And then I have my rice cooker, cleaning supplies, more pots and pans, cutting board, and canned goods in this one. And then this last one, candies and condiments and etc. And everyone's got to have a junk drawer. This is my junk drawer. I made one that fits through you can see that, it's basically the sink drain hose. And so this holds like plastic bags and other assorted junk that I have lying around. Having a colander is really handy for drying dishes. Normally have running water going, but just started the process of winterizing it, so no water in there at the moment. Got a propane stove. That guy is powered by, there's the tank here. I'm not sure if you can see that. Right there. And I've got a bunch of switches here. The switch panel in this very makeshift panel. This cardboard look shelf. It actually is cardboard. So of course we've got like the main lights and the USB plugs. We've got garage lights. Turn that on. When it's working, it will turn on the lights underneath the bed. The diesel air heater, which is right underneath there. That's what's running. I currently have this in its not final place, this instrument panel. Eventually I'll move it to here, and I want to have a overhead cabinet in the future. And then the water pump. Got a temperature and humidity reading, and got a fan that is useful for keeping the air circulated here, especially when it's really hot. Speaking of fans, I've got a MaxxAir fan here. This one lets you either extract air or pull air in, so it goes both ways. It has a little handle here which lets you kick up the cover that's outside to be open if you want to draw fresh air in, or you can close it and just use it as another circulation fan for inside. Moving on, I got a swing table made of gas pipes, so this is magnetically sticking to the side, and then this wraps around, swings around, and can be moved about as a result. And then that can be swung back and clicked back into place. I want to give credit where credit is due. The seed of this idea I got from another YouTuber, which was called Girl Guy in a Camper Van at that time. He also used gas piping. His was the single arm part, but I added to that by adding another fitting to it so it all can rotate and extend to where you want instead of just being in this area. I wanted that so that I could use this table, and even while I'm at the kitchen, I can have an extra prep surface if I need it. One trade-off is that it's not quite as sturdy as if it was just a single pipe, but I like this flexibility where I can stretch it around. The little rope that's hanging here is actually the part that helps me pull that corner of the bed up when I'm putting the bed away. This bed actually can come all the way out to, you can see there's one there, mount here, and these are all IKEA parts. And I'm not sure if you can see from underneath there, there's 4 cross members, and you can just lift this one out and pull out and make the bed. I'll show you how this works. So pulling this down, you don't need that. You lift each of these sides up. And this pulls out. One hooks onto there. And one hooks on the other side here. And then I can pull the bed. Whoa! When I've got it securely attached, I can pull this bed out. That part of the mattress will fold down, and then if I need to reverse this process, that's what this guy's for, so I can lift the corner up and push this bed in. And just retract all of it. In here, and put it. And now it's back into a daybed position. Before we move away from this area, this is where the, right underneath there. So I got 300 amp hour batteries, lithium, and solar controller on the right, and a DC-to-DC charger which lets me charge from the van. I'll go into this in another video, and also got the battery monitor. Well, I was hoping to be able to show you the garage lights, but they don't seem to be working properly. These LED strips sometimes can be a little wonky. Instead, I'm just gonna have to show you what it looks like with my handy dandy search lamp. So this is like my storage area, which clearly needs a better solution. But specifically what I want to show you is that sink drains into this handy dandy little water container that I have for my gray water, and then the water itself is in these green jugs. I normally have another two there, just in the middle of unpacking. That is the under garage area, and of course everyone wants to know, how do you go to the bathroom? So my bathroom is right here. Got a cushion here, so this guy opens up, and we've got a little wire here that holds that in place. And I've got this type of chemical toilet, this Thetford Curve porta potty. This has a seat and a little button you can press to have water go in. There's no water in there right now. And then you have a handle here, which then opens that little trap door, and you can do your thing. This area doubles as a shower. So you can see this thing around is actually a shower curtain. And I'll show a different clip that shows where it actually attaches to magnets I've hidden in the roof, and allows you to have a small bird bath shower that you really appreciate when you're in the middle of the desert and there's no way to easily take a shower and have privacy. Moving up here, I decided to keep these slats from the original design of the van. Sort of a keepsake, but also it helps stiffen this thin 9mm wood that I used to try to save weight. So it makes it strong enough that, you know, then I can sit on it and not bend it or break it. My cushion currently is just have a little knot here that I tied into this, and then in there, and then that way it doesn't fall off. So you have the garbage. You know, in the real life living, I found that it was a good reuse and to use chip bags. You know, since I have big liking for chips, I might as well use these as garbage bags. So I've got this little nightstand container here. You can put things in, like my eyeglass case. It's held in by magnets. Got my handy mirror here, and bug net, which became really useful when you're out in the forest. So this has magnets that hold this in, and when I can get my hand in there, see, it comes apart, and then when you let go, they all lock back together, and then this is just simply held in place with double-sided Velcro. In addition, this part becomes a hanging area. Got all my stuff out of there right now. And this area is where we put our clothes. So top here, right now I don't have too many things in here. This shelf is made of cardboard. Simply cardboard over top of this area a temporary shelf until I can make this from wood. It's a proof of concept, and we definitely want this area to store extra clothing. And that does it for this short tour of the van. Let me know if you guys have any other questions, and we'll see you in the next one. Got a little bonus for you guys that stayed all the way to the end. Talk more about this. This is a swamp cooler that I built for keeping the van cool. If you're not familiar, this guy, actually what it does is takes water, and there's a pump at the bottom there, and it pumps it up through this little soaker lasso ring, and it has a bunch of holes in it. Soaks this evaporator material so it absorbs the water, and the air goes through these holes that are in the side, and so a warm air comes in here, evaporates the water, gets cold, and then is blown out by this computer fan that is attached to the bottom. Definitely a handy thing to have when it's warm.